green light back on. I noticed when I pulled it out of my pocket, it was already on. Whatever. Minutes of Horror always has a lot of great stuff for me to talk about. A lot of times I don't know what I'm going to talk about until I fire it up, and then I usually figure out what the topic is, or the main topic is, like later when I'm doing the thumbnail. I kind of think about, all right, what was in there, and that's how I figure out what the main thing is about it. But I every time I look at his stuff, it's like he always comes up with something good, and the way he always delivers it in a really sort of rational, logical kind of way, and that helps invite people who normally wouldn't kind of consider some of that stuff to look at it and to consider it. And a lot of times I'll jump off from his ideas, and I instead put it in the crazy car and drive it right to Schizo Town. Oh, Jesus, people. Yeah. And that's the case here. He was talking about how this whole Super Bowl thing with Taylor Swift, how they're kind of telegraphing or letting it be known that there's supposed to be some kind of engagement. I mean, normie news shows asking about it, people speculating on it. Like it's supposed to happen. Everybody kind of knows that. And his thing was like, well, it's almost like they're setting it up so that maybe something, God forbid, tragic may happen, and then it will make the people think, oh, they were gonna get engaged too, to make it extra sad for that extra bowl of loosh that they can get out of something. And I think he's right. It's probably something like that, so that people can be extra sad. Oh, and they were gonna be engaged. It's because you don't usually telegraph things like that to this kind of point. I mean, it might as well put it on the fucking poster or something. But considering that, it got me thinking. Well, it didn't get me thinking. I'm always kind of thinking about it. But that's not just how this thing is, like the script kind of thing that they have together. That's how everything is. Everything is like that. Everything around us is like that. It's not just the Super Bowl or this one incident. The whole world is scripted. All the world's a stage. It really is, though. It's everything is laid out in some sort of predetermined fashion, however that's done. If this script is something that they're taking from something that existed before. I talked recently about those that stuff they found down in Antarctica, or they allegedly found, according to an Anon whose friend and his friend's dad are Freemasons, and they were involved with the project that's happening down in Antarctica. Oh, well, not really down, I guess far to the sides. And where they had this machine, or some kind of device that they would feed these plates into, and the plates all had different world events on it, like I don't know, like martial law, or a president being elected, or someone being like assassinated. And they were like art. They were like art prints on glass, which kind of looked like stained glass. Some of them were broken. They were scattered all around this device. And the implication was these pictures would then be fed into the machine to make them happen in real time. And some of these paintings allegedly are the same ones that are used on the Illuminati trading card game from Steve Jackson Games that came out in the 90s. I remember when those came out. I was distributing them for Diamond Comics distributors. I was working there in the 90s, and I remember those coming in and just looking at them, and not knowing how much of it was going to come true, but just thinking how wild it was. A friend of mine got a couple packs, and the pack, I mean, they had the full deck. He got a few decks, and I wasn't really interested in getting one, but at the time I thought it was pretty weird. And it's just funny to see, as the years have gone on, how much stature it's taken on when a lot of these things that were in that game came true. So there's definitely some kind of script. How it's done, I don't know. But the other thing too, and this is just my speculation, is that this script is used over and over again throughout the ages. Things like the Civil War or the Revolutionary War, for instance, these events, they happen, air quotes, over and over again. When a new reset happens, a new population comes in, they replay through all this stuff. So it's already kind of set up. But it's not just the big events, it's the medium-sized events too that are all worked out. Like for our history, a lot of these people that study Tartarian Empire, mudflood type of stuff, have kind of determined that the late 1800s is when our group of people kind of started up. When after a reset, it was the late 1800s. And I actually run into some stuff like this too when I was doing some research on the Boston Fire Department. There was just this huge gap in history where nothing happened, nothing was being reported, and then there was this giant kind of fire, the same kind of fire that happened in every city, like in Chinatown here we had them, or earthquakes. All these calamities happened at once, and there was kind of a skip in time there. There wasn't people reporting or doing anything, and then that's when we allegedly started, you know, the late 1800s. So it's some kind of script that they play over and over again. Maybe there's additions to it, I don't know, but it's all this predetermined thing. So I think it sheds light on something interesting that a lot of people probably, you know, wouldn't understand how to pick up on it. But, you know, looking at it, I said, yeah, this is they're playing out a script here that's going to happen in real life. And whether or not something tragic does happen, but to me, and to minutes of horror too, it feels like inevitable that it's not going to happen. And the reason it won't happen is that there's going to be something, you know, hopefully no one gets hurt or dies, but maybe, I don't know, something's going to happen so that there won't be an engagement because everybody's primed for it. You know, they've told the people basically. It's gone beyond like hinting around, you know, it should be on the poster. So yeah, when they telegraph something that heavily, you know it's for a reason. So I think, and when they do these kind of big things that everybody knows about, it's usually a negative result because, you know, they're looking to eat big. When you have a lot of people focusing on one thing, you know, for instance, 7-Eleven was an inside job or something, you have all the eyes of the world looking at this thing all at once. And then it goes south, you get whatever negative emotions out of people from seeing this event. Revulsion, horror, sadness, whatever it is. It's all those low frequency vibrations that they then can transmute in some way to feed themselves, basically. They eat that shit out. I used to think they preferred the low frequency, but it's not that they prefer low frequency, it's all they can digest. If you're vibrating higher, they really can't touch you. That's why it's good to laugh. Laughter is the most sort of intense, frequency driven activity you can do with your body. When you're laughing, you're not in fear, and they can't do anything with that energy. They need something low. But yeah, this scripted thing is just, that's how everything is. It's how everything is. The only thing you really have control over is your immediate surroundings, like the people you know, the world you live in, your day-to-day thing. That's kind of what you have control over. All this other stuff is predetermined, but not predetermined in a way where like some kind of fate or something. It's written by the farmers. The farmers have some kind of influence over it, and this is just it's gonna keep happening. So to get mad about these things, you know, as I often do, it's kind of silly because all you're doing is you're feeding them in a different way. Being mad about knowing that everything's a script, yeah, I'm making food for them too, you know? So, yeah, whatever. But yeah, Minister of Horror is great. He's always, I see these softballs coming over the plate, you know, for like ideas and topics, and you fucking know I'm gonna dog it. Till next time, which will probably be, sorry, long COVID. No, I'm just kidding. There's no long COVID. There's no such thing. I'm not a doctor, but also there's no such thing. But yeah, until then, as always, don't blame the teacher, blame the school.